The European Union is offering to pay Ukraine to repair a damaged pipeline which was meant to carry crude oil to Hungary in an attempt to persuade the government of Budapest to lift its veto on an aid package. Tensions have been ratcheted up between the neighbours over the pipeline, with Hungary's Prime Minister Dr Owen raising the issue to block a vital €90 billion loan to Kyiv, as well as a fresh round of sanctions against Russia. Well, this
is available to go to Ukraine, and things are happening as we speak, indeed, to make sure that we can, that all the necessary work is done in terms of reparation, in terms of restoration of the pipeline, so that oil supplies are eventually resumed.
The Druzhba pipeline, to give it its actual name, and this is all part of our Spotlight interview. With Volodymyr Zelensky on a series of European visits, we welcome to our studio Iryna Mudra, who's Deputy Head of the Office of the President of Ukraine. Thank you so much for coming to see us here at France 24.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate your time. How vital is this €90 billion loan from the EU for Ukraine?
It is vital. It is the source for survival. It is the source for continuation of our defense, and it's not an issue only of Ukraine. It is an issue of Europe, about the security of Europe.
In terms of what that means, of course, going forward, is creating that buffer against Russia, clearly. Your existential fight as a country to survive is very much tied up with that. I'm wondering sort of what the sense is where you are right now about the issues going on in Iran, with perhaps the attention being drawn by the Iran war. Is this what President Zelensky is trying to do with this series of visits, to try to keep Ukraine in the headlines, to keep the attention there?
President Zelensky has dozens of visits during the months. So he visits every second week, and he travels a lot. He speaks to European leaders, not only to Europeans. So he does this almost every second week. Of course, today, when the attention is distracted to Iran and to what's going on in Venezuela, Iran, it is important to keep attention on Ukraine as well. Because, as you rightly said, Ukraine today is a buffer for shield for Europe. And we are protecting not only Ukraine, but the whole Europe.
So when you hear Keir Starmer in London, alongside Volodymyr Zelensky, saying that it's really important not to let Ukraine be forgotten in the current context, that must give you some reassurance.
Yes, of course. We expect that in the end of all this fight, we'll get just and lasting peace. And for this, we have to have justice served to our people and to our country, and of course the means for reconstruction and the means for strengthening our production capacities.
That whole issue about reconstruction, about production capacities, is a massive project going forward. And of course, reconstruction, whilst you're still being bombed by Russia, is an incredibly difficult thing to do, isn't it?
Well, yes. Our energy infrastructure has been attacked almost every second night, and civilian attacks ongoing. But we have to keep our life in Ukraine. We have to keep our economy, so we have to rebuild our infrastructure system. We are doing this. Of course, we are not, protected that next day or next night it won't be struggled again. But we have to continue this.
I remind everybody that whilst you're here in a political role, you're also someone who lives in Ukraine, who is subject to the same kind of threats. Every night you hear the same sirens, you have the same kind of threat to your life, don't you?
Yep, not only me, my son, 7-year-old son, all my family lives in Ukraine. So we are in this nightmare every day. But we don't have fatigue. We continue our resilience, we continue our struggle and our defense of our country.
People talk about Ukrainians being strong, but you've got no choice. You have to be strong, don't you?
We are strong. But we are thankful to European allies that continue this support and that continue that we feel strong and we continue to be strong.
Can I ask about the kind of change round in events recently with Donald Trump, with the US asking for help with drones? Because it was a year ago that Donald Trump said that Volodymyr Zelensky didn't have the cards. That famous speech, February the 28th last year at the White House, where they were very angry and very disrespectful to Volodymyr Zelensky. But it seems now that Ukraine does have the cards in terms of technology to fight drones. That must be a very satisfying moment for you.
This is politics, right? And they behave like politics. But indeed, Ukraine today is one of the most powerful country with regards to the production of drones and military things. So we have a very good expertise. We have all the drones being tested on the battlefield. So we do know how to produce these drones. What we need financing for increasing this production.
Do you hope that this technology that you can provide to the United States and its allies to stop Iran's drones during this war in the Middle East, that it will be some kind of leverage for you to get more help, to get the United States to start helping Ukraine again?
Well, we are ready to share these technologies. We are ready to provide our assistance to U.S. if it's needed. So we are open with that, and my president is very keen to continue this cooperation.
It is remarkable that Ukrainians, putting their minds together in this time of need, have been able to create such a simple and, it seems, cost-effective way of fighting these drones.
Yep.
How has that happened? What is the clearly it's necessity, isn't it? You had to do it.
Yes, we are put in this situation that we didn't have any other way out. So we have good production capacities. We have good brains to do this. We have people to do this. And of course, if we are providing more financial aid, we will be able to produce more and more.
Can I ask about the pipeline, the Druzhba pipeline? It's clear that there is this sticking point about the 90 billion euro aid package from the EU. Viktor Orbán, in his role as Vladimir Putin's closest friend in Europe, has been continually trying to block aid towards Ukraine. And this, perhaps, it seems part of his kind of rationale in some way, shape or form. Has Ukraine been delaying repairing this oil pipe? What's your story? Tell us.
Well, again, it's more of politics, right? We try to find the settlement. We try to find the solution for that. And we are in cooperation with European Union, with the European Commission, with Ursula von der Leyen. So I do believe that our leaders will manage to find the solution.
Iryna, thank you very much for joining us. We're out of time, but I wish we could go on for a lot longer because there's so much more to talk about. Good luck with the continued fight that is on your hands every day, every night, of course, for you, your family, for the whole of Ukraine, in trying to keep your country together in the face of all the odds against you. Thank you for coming to see us here in France 24. We really appreciate it. Iryna Mudra, who is the Deputy Head of Office of the President of Ukraine. A pleasure to meet you, and thank you for coming to join us. Thank you very much indeed. We take a very short break. After that, more news. Stay with us.